Okay, good evening, everybody. Please, can someone confirm you can hear me?
Good evening.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, sir. So today we're just going to have a little discuss, right, on because one of the common questions I get asked is, "Man, can I pay zero tax? I don't want to pay tax to the government. What can I do?" Right? It's a very funny question. But disclaimer: I'm not a supporter of zero taxes. If you attended my first class, like I always say, it's good to have a tax footprint as a taxable individual. But we're just going to look at, are there cases where theoretically, right, where you can come up with paying zero taxes, right? So for us to be able to do that, first of all, we're going to look at the exemptions that we have, right? And from that exemptions, you cannot do one or two mathematics and say, okay, if you do this and you do this and you do this, you're exempted from this. Doesn't mean that you don't pay any tax, right? So that's basically what we're going to be discussing today. And after which, as usual, we'll have our discussions, our one-on-one interactions, right? Which is what basically the cost is. This Friday Q&A is all about. And also, I'm also thinking about what's it called now? Bringing our cost release date up front, right? I'm looking at this month end or probably first early next month, so that for those who need all of those things for decision making, it will actually help them. But God help me, I should be able to conclude that as soon as possible. Okay, so like I said, for us to be able to discuss this, the first thing we're going to look at is the different tax exemptions that we have, right? And like always, I always like to, when I'm talking about tax, I always like to section my around the four common taxes that we owe, right? The number one, we have a company income tax. So which people are exempted from company income tax? You have the non-profit organizations. You have the agricultural sector. So for the agricultural sector, please remember, right? Company income tax is a tax paid by limited liability companies, right? This is a tax solely for limited liability companies, please, right? Okay, so now that that is said, non-for-profit bodies, agricultural entities, right? But for this one, they are exempted for the first 5 years. So for their first 5 years of operations, so you own a farm, probably own like a poultry and all of that, you are exempt tax for the first 5 years. Then exports, people who do solely based on exports. So let's say, for instance, now you own this plastic waste, all of those kind of things, where you basically do exports, right, of plastic waste or anything that's solely exports, except petroleum products, right? So we're not talking about people, maybe they have the services, they export part of it, they don't export part of it. No, we're talking about people who mainly deal on exports. So their whole operation is exports, right? So they're exempted from company income tax. Then sports organizations, right? People who basically do sports entities, right? They're exempted. Then, of course, the most popular one, small companies. Like small companies, people doing under 50 million, right? You are exempted. Then on dividends. So you are a company, you invest in another company abroad and they pay you dividends, right? Be it stock, be it whatever it is, right? Obviously, it's a taxable money, so they don't expect to tax it again. So that also is exempted. Then for personal income tax, we have your pensions, right? You have pensions, we have gratuity. So also, I would like to add dividends here as well. So if, for instance, now, so by law, any inflow you have, right? Let's say you are using PiggyVest, for example, and they pay you your dividends or your interest, and they've removed withholding charge, which I know they will start removing, especially for next year because of the new tax regime. They probably might not be doing that now, but I know from next year they will be doing that, right? So that interest they're paying, if they remove withholding tax, you are that money on its own is exempted from tax. So when you're declaring your income, you don't declare that money, right? That's why I've always been clamoring that it is you that will always declare whatever it is that is your taxable income when it comes to personal income tax, right? So again, pensions is non-taxable, gratuity is non-taxable, minimum wage, people earning less than 70,000 naira, right? They are not taxable. Charities, charitable income, that's gifts and all of those things, they are not taxable. It's not a taxable income that you should declare, right, for taxable purposes. Then we have VAT. So VAT are those transactional taxes that basically you charge for goods and services that you render, right? Taxable goods and services that you rendered. Uh, I had earlier dropped a list where you can see all the taxable goods and services and all the exempt. Okay, but we're talking about exemptions today. And exemptions from VAT, they include education, we have health, we have basic food, we have exports as well, we have baby and military products, right? So those are the VAT exempts that we have. Again, if you are involved in any of these goods or services, you are exempted from VAT, right? Then you have withholding tax. So withholding tax is an advanced tax that people charge you, right? Or you charge people who render services to you. So you have a contractor, you employ a professional, all of those, right? You're expected to charge them withholding tax. So they are saying if you are dealing with if you have a what's it called, government securities, right? Things like what's it called? Mutual bonds, all of those things, all those government things that they sell, right? They are exempt from withholding tax. So if you invest in like mutual bonds and the rest, they're exempt from withholding tax. Charitable payments, obviously, charity exempt from withholding tax. Frank dividends. So it simply means that a dividend that has already been taxed again is exempted from another withholding tax. So back to the question, right? Can I pay zero taxes? I can say over 90% of the consultations I ask, or should I say I take, this is one common question people ask me, and it's mainly due to the exemptions, right? So for if you're looking to pay income tax, I mean zero taxes, honestly, first of all, your business has to be a non-vatable business, right? So it basically falls into one of these VAT exempt, or also maybe a zero a non-vatable business. Another one would be small business entirely. So if, for instance, now you are a small business, you have a small business, meaning you're doing less than 50 million. You have a business name, meaning you're not liable to income tax, right, for the business. So if you have a business name and you're doing other 50 million, which means you're not paying VAT, you're also not filing income tax for business name, obviously. If as the owner of the business, you now say, the business is not making money, so you are paying yourself minimum wage. Automatically, right? There is really no taxes you are owing across the board. Number one, you're not vatable. Number two, you are a small business, right? And the business now does not pay income tax, whether it's making profit or not. And on your own end, especially if the money is not entering to your account, you're making all the expenses through your business name, right? It simply means that okay, you're basically not paying salary, therefore you're not making any income, right? As funny as it may sound, that is just it. So there's no right, or there's no way the taxman will basically tax you. right? Then more interestingly, if for instance now you're not doing a VAT exempt and you're not using, so most times the only chance you basically would get for not paying income tax or any tax at all will be under the umbrella of a business name, because especially since they are not charging you, number one, they're not charging you any income tax. Another thing too, your compliance there, your compliance, how will I put it now? Your compliance obligation, oh God, see English. Your compliance obligation is not that serious, right? So you're not paying VAT. Maybe for instance, now you're selling baby clothes and you're using a business name, meaning there's no VAT. Then as because you're using a business name, you not decide that, oh, this is not making money, I'm not paying myself salary. So you don't have personal income tax, you don't have a VAT tax, and as a business name, you're not paying any income tax, right? It's funny, it's tricky, but that's basically what it is. But again, like I said, it is not something I recommend. But these are just the funny scenarios where you can say, okay, oh, even though you are making money, you're doing business, you can end up not paying taxes, right? By law, nobody can charge you taxes because you don't have, quote and unquote, any taxable income, right? So if you just look at it, that's basically, and of course you have the small business, even if you're a limited liability, you have the small business people who make less than 50 million naira. But again, like I always say, you can say, okay, because it's a small business, the auditor might not charge you a lot of money, but cost is cost, right? And it depends on who you are hiring to render those services for you, right? So I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to prove that there are scenarios where you can pay zero taxes, right? Just looking at the different tax exemptions and the business structure that you choose for your business, right? So those are the considerations if you want to pay zero taxes at the end of the day in all and all. Okay. So that said, I think it's time we'll probably have our one-on-one discussions and probably learn from each other, right? So over to the class or over to the floor, whichever one.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ojibara.
Yes, please. I wanted to ask which one is the best one for those running school businesses to open. Um, we started with the business name when the school started. That was like 17 years ago. Then later we did a limited liability. That was in 2017, but we didn't use the limited liability for anything. We had used the business name to do the registration with government and everything and open accounts. So the limited was just there. We were not using it for anything until 2020. We were paying we were using the business name to pay through FCT IRS.
Okay.
The tax my name, but they will write the name of the school by the side, and then that one we use it to get tax clearance every year.
Tax clearance
So
for business name or individual
yes,
tax
like
clearance.
they will put the name, they will put the name of the school in bracket against my own name.
Okay, I don't know why they are
So
doing that,
like
yeah, but
because they would also need well, that was how they will put the name of the school in bracket, but the tax is paid by me. So they will
exactly,
just,
because the tax is your tax. It's not.
yes, the tax is paid
That's
by
what I
me,
wanted to play.
because they will now
Exactly.
use, they normally use the calculation we use for the payee, the ones we pay for the
Yes,
staff. They will
yes,
estimate
the
that
same
if you are paying
calculation.
this for payee, then that means you should be able to. So every year they kept
So
increasing it.
most times they will look at your, so for a business like that and have staff, they will look at your highest paid payee in the staff and they say that you must be paying yourself more than that highest staff. Am I correct? Hello?
Yes, that's how they do. But every year they kept increasing it.
No,
Every year.
obviously. So the
They kept.
moment you enter, they keep increasing it every year.
So I
That's their
wanted to
practice.
now find out, should we now go and reactivate the limited, although that one we had paid for us to cancel it, because then we advised not to even present the limited anywhere. If not, FRS2 will be pursuing us left and right. And truly, there was a time FRS2 wrote one huge bill, and we wrote to them that, sorry, we are business name, and we're already paying tax through FCT IRS. So we now pay to cancel that limited liability. But unfortunately, later with all this one now, when we wanted to open the trustee, yes, there's another one called guarantee by trustee. There's another kind of registration,
Okay.
that's called. But they now say we needed to get
Limited.
back the limited to upgrade to trustee.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's why I'm even here. So I want to be sure before I take any step, because we are still in the middle. All of us were just looking. We don't know what's going to happen in January, but we really want to be well informed and well prepared as a business.
So
So
for
I
tax.
don't know whether we should continue with the business name, or we should go and renew that limited liability, or we should wait to complete the trustee for its
So
full
for tax
system.
purposes, like you rightly. Okay. Are you done?
The reason again is that for schools, I don't know how they calculate turnover. The government might see money entering the account, but they will not talk about the money going out when we are paying salary. Because most of the time when parents pay the school fees, it's that same amount that we used to pay the landlord and we used to pay the staff. So if they are saying turnover, of course, school turnovers will be very high, but they're also not looking at the cost of operations of such system. So definitely for most schools, we'll be having more than 50 million entering our accounts, because when people pay school fees, it will enter. But that same 50 million too will go out over 4 months in terms of paying salaries.
Okay. So when you said the government will not look at your outflow, they are not looking at your currently you are a business name, you're operating as a business name. So that's why when most people, I think that's where the confusion is. When most people ask, okay, can I I think someone was asking even in the group today, what about the expenses for my business name? Will I not deduct it? Right? Business name, nobody asks you about income tax. Nobody asks you about your expenses under business name. They really don't care, right? If the only thing they probably would care about in the business, if you're a vertible business, then they will care about your turnover, right? But if you are not a vertible business, just like you said, the FRS will leave you alone because there's really no way for them to tax you. If they come through VAT, you are not a vertible business. You are doing education and educational materials, right?
Yes.
So you really at this point now, you really don't have any business with FRS. But the moment you move to a limited liability, right, you can move to a limited liability and declare that you commence business with a good and fine, they will register you. So, but you have to bear in mind that at the end of the year, because you are a privately owned school, right? You have a school for profit. It's not a non-for-profit school. You are running for profit, right? So you have to file income tax. You might not be paying VAT, but you have to file and pay for income tax. So that is where your expenses now come in. So if you are filing for income tax, that's where you can now claim your landlord rent, salaries you are paying, all of those considerations now come into play, right? So
Yeah.
that's just basically how it works. So the only reason why nobody's talking about your expenses right now is because nobody is talking about income tax for the business name, right? The business name does not pay income tax. So that's why you cannot say, oh, they are only seeing turnover, nobody is seeing the expenses and how it's going out. Because there's no provision for them to tax you based on what is coming in and what is coming out. Until then, you now carry your leg and move to limited, right? Obviously, you've seen the benefit of limited, like you said, if you want to do it's only a limited under the limited umbrella, you can do most of those things. There are there are numerous advantages, like I've been always saying in my classes. There are numerous advantages for a limited because it's a separate entity on its own and it has the right to basically do most things, right? Under law, it is the limited they recognize for most transactions, right? But the business was basically just designed for somebody who just wants a name other from themselves, more like a brand name to do business. That is what they designed the business name for. They did not really design it for serious businesses like this. But obviously, it's a loophole, and people are taking. Even the government knows that this loophole exists, but they left it like that. So if you are doing a serious business, they will know that okay, by the time you need certain things, nobody will tell you you have to switch, right? So that is basically it. So the question now will be: is the trustee you're doing important enough for you to carry the tax liability that will come with the limited within the limited? So that's a question only you can answer, not the taxman. So it depends on what is whatever it is that you want to do with the limited. Is it important enough for the tax exposure that will come with it? You
It's
get
not
so
important enough only because of because of what is happening in January. If it's now, we are good to go. We pay our tax and we are good under a business name.
so then
Because
stay where you are.
but now in January, that is where I don't understand what is happening in January that everybody is saying we
Nothing,
should
nothing
change
will
to
change.
limited.
Nothing in the law will affect you. It's the
But they are
same
saying
taxes that you've been paying. They're saying what?
okay. Yeah, everybody is saying everybody should change to limited liability before January and go and open accounts. Go and open 10 accounts. Go and
Did I
open
say
10.
that? I did not say that. So
Not you. That is why I'm here to learn more. Do you understand me? As in, that is what a lot of other people, even schools, So that's why I wanted to get which one was the best. Is it just to leave it as our business name or you know,
please leave
to
it. You are not
well,
having
that
any
would be
benefit from that one. Leave it.
okay. All
Okay.
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. Next person, please.
Yeah, please, I
Hello.
have a question.
Okay, so let's do it like that. I think W is on top. After W, Nosa can speak.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Please, my question is about let me use the word SPV. So let's say someone wants to use my company for SPV. I hope you understand
I
SPV.
don't know what SPV is. No.
Okay, special purpose vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So please, how should I charge in such a way that I will be, like covered? What's percentages or how should I like? What deduction should I make before making the funds to the parties? If you understand what I mean.
So basically, they are using money is passing through your account, right?
Yes.
So at the moment,
Yes.
what percentage do you charge?
I do 15%.
So ideally, that 15% now, right, cannot be
Yes.
termed as your income, right? So
Okay,
you want
10%.
to treat that transaction as
Okay. Sorry to
so
interrupt. Okay, let's be practical. Let's use a figure. Let's say 20M.
so if it's
Yes.
20M and you're charging 15%, right? 10% of
Yes.
20, that's 2 million. As you're charging 3 million per each other transaction that passes through your account. So it simply means for each 20M that passes through your account, you're making 3M. So that 3M becomes your service fee. So it's from that 3M that if after you're paying, it's from that
Okay.
3M that they're not charging tax.
Okay.
So if assuming that maybe there's no expense attached to that income, so it's from that 3M that if it's a company now, you not pay what's it called? Uh, company income tax on, not the whole
Okay.
20M.
Okay. That's inside the seven. Inside the after taking off the three, the remainder is what where the CIT will be charged.
Yes, charged on.
Okay. Okay. CIT. What other VAT too?
And also for a monetary transactions like that, it's not vatable. So the only thing you'll be
Okay.
concerned about is company income tax.
Percentage.
Sorry,
What's the percentage?
for company income tax, that's the 30% I
CIT.
just mentioned.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I guess.
So, no, sir.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Currently, I have a limited liability company and I do logistics. I run services. I render services for exports. Somebody wants to send an item from Nigeria to anywhere in the world. That's what we do. So I'm seeing exports in certain places like CIT and VAT. Is it that for exports, we are tax exempt, or first for VAT and CIT, or we still need to pay CIT and VAT?
So, what do you export again?
Food items, clothes, mostly food items.
100% export.
100% export. I render it as a service.
Hello?
I'm, I render it as a service. I'm a freight forwarder.
Oh, okay. So, if it's 100% export, the law says exports are not, what's it called now? Not, they're exempt from common income tax and this thing. So, they did not say if you are, the only exemption to that law is petroleum products. So if you are a 100% export company, then fine, you are exempted. It's as simple as that.
Okay, then, but somehow I also have input VAT. Like, let's say, for instance, now I patronize DHL as a courier company, and I give them goods that I'm supposed to export on behalf of my customers. When I'm paying them, they calculate it. That becomes an input VAT for me. Can I also present that
So ideally,
to Federal Inland Revenue Service as
to do what?
input
To get
VAT?
refund.
Come again.
You can present it now, but what is the goal for presenting it?
Okay. I'm just asking so to
Okay, so
understand.
yes, if you were having like output VAT, right? You are paying VAT. You can deduct that against whatever it is you are paying and pay the difference, right? But you are not doing that, or you will not be paying VAT. You're not paying this thing. So even if you get the what's it called, input VAT, it will just be a credit on your dashboard. It will just be there sitting down and waiting for you, right? So basically, that is what it is. Although the I saw the guy saying he will be giving refund, but there's nowhere in the law that says he'll be giving refund. I don't know. They should give some people hope that he will be giving refund. But they paid input VAT and there's basically they are not owing any VAT, right? People like you now, for example. But I don't see Nigerian man giving any tax refund in the nearest future. Yeah, I don't see it happening, right? So let's forget about the tax refund. The best that can happen is you use it against whatever it is that you're owing them. When this is your case, that you will not be owing any VAT because you're not vatable, if that makes any sense. So that's just
It makes
basically
sense.
it.
So in this case now, the only thing that applies to me is PIT, personal income tax, as a limited
Yes,
liability
yes,
company. Withholding tax
yes.
does not apply.
And so it depends now. If for instance now, because you are a limited liability company, whether you are paying or not, right? You have to file your report. So if you hire an auditor like myself, you have to charge me with holding that, and you remit it to the government on my behalf.
Then
So
somebody did
yes, then yes,
mention,
withholding tax is probably a tax that you would have to do if you are dealing with Nigerian organizations and not abroad,
okay, then somebody did
basically.
mention that
Yeah.
if I'm paying my office rent, I'm supposed to deduct withholding tax before
Withholding
paying
tax
the
too.
landlord. But if I deduct
Yes.
that, the landlord would never agree. This is Nigeria, and the person,
No,
and
obviously, no, they will not agree now. It's left for you to go and sort yourself out. So,
I
but
will
as a
not be the
company,
one
right?
held liable for not deducting it.
So it's also the thing is now, especially since you are not paying company income tax, people declare rent because they have to deduct it. So it's not a question of rather than not declaring rent, which the expense will increase your this thing. They would rather. So, for instance, now let's say rent is 5 million, right?
Yes.
If you it's another 5 million you are reducing from your revenue. That's your taxable income. So they declare it, remove that 5 million, right? Then they now probably subject withholding tax. So at the end of the day, you are gaining 20% of taxes you're supposed to pay by declaring the rent. That's the way you look at it, right? But in your own case now, you are not paying company income tax. So even if you have 100% or 1 million or 1 billion profit, it does not benefit you to declare rent in your financials, because by declaring rent, you'll be owing withholding tax. So if you don't declare rent, nobody's going to ask you for withholding tax, because at the end of the day, you're not supposed to pay company income tax. I don't know if you understand. So declaring rent, you are just exposing yourself to more taxes.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if I'm clear.
Very clear.
So if you are preparing your financials, you look at, okay, what is in these financials that can expose me to more taxes that I don't want to pay. So if you see rent, then you take it and say, okay, don't worry, I'm not paying rent. Take the rent out, because at the end of the day, even if you make 100 million naira profit, nobody's going to tell you to come and pay tax because you are tax exempt.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, actually, I have a question here. I'm really new to the whole tax thing here, but my question is, I run a car business. So I run a car business. Someone is disturbing.
Hold on, Mr. Raji, please mute yourself. Mr. Raji. Oh, okay. Thank you.
I run a
Mr.
car
Anon, please
business
continue.
and I run a car business and a fashion line business. So now the thing is, what kind of tax? What? In which way can I reduce? There are two different businesses, and they are all
Yes, obviously.
both of them are business names registered as business names, right? As of
Okay.
now, yes. So what are the best possible ways to avoid tax? Is that a word? I don't know. I feel, tax
Yes, avoid
avoidance.
tax.
Okay. What are the best possible ways the to reduce the payment of tax and all that? That's what I'm trying to confirm right now.
So for your business, right, your fashion and your car business, the only taxes you're exposed to that I see is your. Hey, shit. Sorry, let me note something down. I forgot I'm supposed to do something. Okay, so the only taxes you are liable for are value added tax, right?
Yes, sir.
Because for car business, obviously, before you sell one or two cars, you don't pass 50 million. So it's not even debatable. I don't know about your, what's it called? Your fashion business, but I'm praying and hoping that it's also a big business, right? So those basically are the two taxes you're exposed to,
Which
right?
taxes?
Then, sorry?
What are the two taxes that I'm supposed to?
No, the same tax now. That's VAT. Then okay, you cannot talk about your own personal income tax, right? So if you file your personal income tax, it covers you for your business name. It also covers you for your car. I mean, for your fashion business, it also covers you for your car business.
Okay.
So personal income tax that you have to file. Then you now have your VAT, right? Uh, for your car business, now it depends on how basically what would I say? Now it depends on what your story is to the tax man, especially for somebody that's not really obligated to do what's it called? Uh, what would I put in now? That is not obligated to file annual returns, that's financial statements, which is all because you're a business name. If I have a car business, right? What I would tell the tax man is I'm just an agent and I sell cars. That's why I don't have a business name. It's not my car. I sell cars on behalf of for different people. So the money just passes through my account. That will be
Okay.
my story. At least with that story now, even if I'm owing, I'm just owing VAT based on commissions I claim I'm earning,
Okay.
right? So it's just a case of you filing something minimal and say, okay, I'm just filing because it's not really my money. I sell for people. That's why by the time you say you claim that okay, your business and all of that, they will now be charging you VAT on the whole amount. But if you say you're just selling and based on commission, all of that, right? Especially if you have a lot of large, I don't know how you buy and sell, right? If you have
Mm-hmm.
other outflows that probably are large enough to feel like, okay, you are actually refunding sales that you've made and all of that, yeah, then your story will actually make a lot more sense, right? So, as a car business, I would want to present it as an
An
agency, like
agent.
a car
Okay.
agent, to
More like a
reduce
middleman.
my VAT, to reduce my VAT liability. That would be my story to the taxman.
The taxman doesn't have any business with my inflow or outflow or something.
So for a business name, they can ask you for so they will not ask you for what's it called now, an audit, but they can ask for your bank account because that's a business. It's a business as well. They have right to ask for your bank account.
But if it is a if I should change it to a LLC, right, limited
Is that,
liability company, so they won't have the. Sorry, please, can you shed light on that?
if you change it to LSC, that's they have their rights don't trickle. That one they will not only ask for your bank account, they will also ask for your audited financial statement. That one you have to actually prepare a financial statement explaining all your transactions,
Ah, okay.
right? That is what an auditor does. So you have to explain all your transactions. So let's say you are claiming that you sold 50 million. They will say, okay, where are all the invoices for that 50 million? Where are all your expenses? Where are all your so that one the compliance because like they said to whom much is given, much is expected. They've
Mhm.
given you a lot of power and leverage, so you should work for it. Basically, that's what I can say. Because like I've been saying, there's a lot of benefit that comes with owning a limited company, right? No compliance responsibilities that comes with that.
So in this case, yeah, as let's say as an agent that I am, as an
Mm.
agent that I claim to be, is best to own a LLC or a business name?
So, uh, if you are talking about taxes,
Mm-hmm.
if tax is your only consideration, I will go with business name any day, anytime. Because from experience, they are more lenient towards business name. I just did a negotiation for a business name guy that he wrote later. He has been operating for how many years, and his VAT liability was over 200 million. But last, now 6 million we pay. You get
Mm-hmm.
that is if you have a good negotiator, obviously, right? But
Yeah.
again, it was a business name, right? It's more of a case of organ money not due. It's not pass, it don't pass. So we did that, raise assessments, and we paid, and he has. So it's lenient like that when it comes to again when it comes to business name. This. But when it comes to limited, they are more because obviously, like I said, the fact that you have a financial statement that's already stating clearly what your revenue is, what your turnover is. So imagine that your FS, your financial statement is stating that okay, you've made because you one of the reasons why you open a limited liability is because you want to do other things, right? Get tax clearance and all of those things. And you need that revenue to reflect to show that you're a big business when you're bidding for contracts, when you're doing other things, getting loans and all of those things, right? And people assess you based on whatever it is that is in your tax clearance, which is why you actually opened a limited liability in the first place. So they will start the judgment starts first of all from that financial statement. They say, okay, you said you make 300 million naira. Where is your VAT on the 300 million naira? That is where you start your discussion. You understand? So that is just those are the things you aware of before you make your decision. I'm not saying limited is bad. Again, like I said, there are a lot of benefits that come with it, but it also carries equal responsibility. That is what you just need to know.
Okay. Well, okay. The last question now is, sorry, for such for such businesses, how many like percent of tax am I meant to like pay or something?
Okay, so if you look at this, these are the basic taxes, right? That you owe. Your personal income tax,
Mm-hmm.
company income tax now, this one is 30%. This company income tax 30%. This one is your personal income tax, averagely between 15 to averagely 20%. Then value added tax, like 7.5 of your sales. So like this one is withholding tax. You are withholding this one from people that you are paying, right? Maybe you
Mm.
employed the services of a professional. You're supposed to withhold withholding tax and pay it to the government. So that's where this one comes in, right? So these two, they are basically based on the transaction. If you sell, that's when you pay this one. If you also hire somebody, right, service to somebody, or you purchase anything, that's when you pay withholding tax, right? So the only tax now, the two major tax, right, for a limited will be CIT, which is 30% of your profit, that's sales minus expenses, then 30%, and VAT, which is 7.5% of your, what's it called now, of your sales. So those are the two major taxes that concern the company that you will pay.
All right, thank you so much. Brother.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Okay, it's like all my students, they don't sabi tax, so that's good.
No,
Then we can
okay.
close
Okay,
early
I'm
today.
here. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, so
Okay, so after K,
of all this,
Rajesh,
okay, okay, sure. K is talking.
yes, yes, K is starting. After you, then Rajesh, I mean Rajiv can speak.
Okay, okay. So for CIT, PIT, VAT, WHT, which of them is payable to the state revenue and which is payable to federal as applicable for both BN and LSC?
Okay, so state is PIT and withholding. Why I say withholding? If you are dealing with an individual, right, you can pay
Yeah.
their PIT to the state. I mean, sorry, they are withholding, right, to the state. So let's say you employ the service of an individual, a contractor that operates as an individual, right? You pay their
Mm,
withholding to the state. But if you employ somebody that operates as a company, you pay their withholding tax. So FIRS. So that's basically how it works. Okay. Uh,
okay.
so then for federal, you have CIT, you have VAT, and also withholding tax for companies as well.
Okay. Okay. So I think that's one of my questions. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, sir. Raji,
Yeah, good evening, sir.
good
Can
evening.
you hear me?
How are we doing? I can hear you loud and clear.
Uh, we are fine, sir. My network here is terrible. I've been trying to speak, but it's just not
Yo, so sorry.
coming out. Yes, my network here is just making me not to be able to speak, but thank God now. All right. My own question is: at what level of inflow can a personal account be flagged for tax, or it is every penny that comes into someone's account that the person will be liable for all this tax verification by
Okay,
FIS.
so the law says 25 million monthly. So
Okay, if
cumulatively, if your
the funds come
transaction
into someone's account,
passes 25 million cumulatively monthly, then they will ask you questions.
okay, the cumulative The cumulative there means all the accounts that are linked to that business, right?
All the what?
The cumulative that you said here means all the accounts that is linked to one particular business. Like for example, on my BVN now, if I have like 3 accounts, so they will check all my accounts. If they are up to 25 million, then it will be flagged for tax audit.
So I cannot categorically tell you if they will use BVN because that was not what's on the law. They just said for individuals, cumulative transaction. I'm just saying what how the law puts it, right? The law did not say they will use what's it called now?
That
What am I even
that
saying?
if
The law did not say
individual
they'll use
account
BVN
or
or NIM and all of that. So that one now is now up to the prerogative of the taxman. So if I know they probably will, right? But yes, but that's not what the law said. It just said so. How they will now up to them to ensure that they enforce it.
okay. Another question is okay. Not an issue. Let me start. As a salary owner, if
Okay,
the company that I work for is supposed to deduct tax from are you there, please?
I'm here.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that as salary owner, the company that you work for is supposed to deduct pay from their end and remit to the government, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
If the salary that is entering the person's account, that entering the person's account now exceeds 25 as the law says, are they still going to audit the account for PIT
Even if they audit the account, it's not.
after paying pay from the company's end?
So as long as you are paying tax on it, nobody will, it's not a crime now. Nobody will penalize you now that you are making big money. Even if they don't pay you, it's not your fault now. They will go and hold your company. It's not your you are not responsible for paying your pay. It is the company that's responsible for that. The company is supposed to deduct it and pay it.
Yes, I
So
understand that. I'm just saying if an individual is also liable to pay PIT after pay is deducted from the company's end.
no. You've already paid tax on that money now, so you're not paying PIT again. Unless you now have
All right,
other sources of income, then you
all right,
cannot talk about PIT. But if that's your only source
all
of
right, all
income,
right.
then you're not paying another one. Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, that question, please. I I just want to ask, like for example, now if someone is doing a business and the person is also doing a business, irrespective of whether the business is valuable or not valuable, is there any option while creating the business name that someone can use? Like for example, now the wife is doing kids clothes trading, and the husband is doing maybe like food items that are not valuable. Is it better they create one business name as long as it will not go beyond that threshold for VAT and the DST, or it is better just create separate business name?
So you're asking that if a husband and wife are doing two different type of business, should they use one business name
Yes,
as long as they do not go beyond the threshold,
yes.
right? That's what you're asking. Or should they? So again, that's basically let's say management decision, right? But for tax purposes, first of all, if they use different names, it lowers their. Again, you said if they will not reach the threshold, but using different business names lowers their this thing, their threshold even more. And also, I would not recommend it,
Okay,
especially because of branding issues, right? Even as if the law requires you to even there's a name your name, the name of a business at the moment now must resemble what it is that you say you are doing. So you cannot just say at the moment now I cannot register accounts and data again. I must have put consulting or put something that would resemble what it is services I'm offering at the moment now because they switched to AI. I don't know if you've heard it, right? So they are trying to computerize, and that's why most of the people now are having issues with CAC registration. So at the moment, you can't just register any name. It must actually resemble what it is that you are doing, right? So even in terms of branding, it does not really make sense so much for the husband,
Yeah,
somebody that is selling food, to be using another person
I
type
think
of
so too.
business. So yes, it's not something I would recommend.
I think so. So while sorry, while buying and selling of food items, probably for logistics, like buying from the north and supplying to the south, they think you get to incur some back expenses on the way. Are they what is it? I mean last one, are they going to like if you find a report where that you pay total amount of money for logistics and the person has paid back for this
I can't hear you. Hello,
hello, it means someone else is on the line.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. My question is, if someone incurs some expenses that they have paid some VAT for like a product that is not vatable, is there a room for like the government or not? Because the network has not been good. I know that you answered something like this, but I did not get the vibe that time.
Okay, so you are selling things that are non-vatable.
Yes, now incur some cost and you paid back in the process of doing that that non-vatable business. Is there a how
There
will
is,
somebody go
there
about it
is,
for the
there
person to
is,
get the funds?
there are, okay, yes, I get it. So there are businesses that are exempt from VAT, right? There are businesses that
Yeah.
are zero rated. So if you are doing businesses that are zero rated, so example of a zero rated, I would say education. Well, hold on, let me confirm because this zero rated and this white zero rated and what's it again? Zero rated and this thing. Essence, they are very close. So they always scatter my head. Okay, me. Okay, I got it. Educational materials, basic food, those ones are zero rated. So by law, it means that if you want to charge them, you should charge VAT, but you should charge VAT at 0%, right? The tax man, when he was speaking, he said they will refund. But me, knowing Nigeria, knowing after practicing for many years, right? It's not today that we have. Nobody's going to
That's a
refund you
lie.
your money. I'm not gonna lie for you. Nobody's
That's
going to
true. That's
refund you
true.
your money. Who, if
I
you
think
tell
so
me
too.
tax office, who
But I
will
was
give
just
you the
thinking
money?
there's a procedure.
Maybe they will give us a procedure next
Okay, I
year,
was
but
thinking
at
there's
the
a
moment,
procedure like that.
I don't see Nigerian government giving anybody any money. I would not lie to you, unless there's a miracle that will happen. But nah, I don't see Tinubu giving anybody
All
any
right.
money back. So yeah,
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hello, good evening.
good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Um, please, I want to ask you. My business is vatable. I deal on auto spare parts, but it's 7.5% VAT they are talking about. Sometimes I don't even make up to that percentage as a profit in some of the item I sell, and the turnover is usually very high. So how do I go about that? How do I explain to the taxman that I don't even make up to this? Like, if I'm to pay 7.5 on every turnover in my account, I don't think I will still stay in business. So I don't know.
So let's talk about what the taxman expects, right? Before we talk about what you can do. What the taxman
Okay.
expects is that the money, first of all, is not from for you to pay from your turnover. It's for you to charge to the customer.
Okay.
So you have a product of 1 million, right? That you sell for 1 million. After you decided your selling price, you add government own
Mm.
on top before you sell it. That is what the law says. That is what the taxman expects you to do. But knowing business, their competition, imagine that your neighbor is a small business and he does not have to charge 7.5. And a customer comes and as if they charge am 1,075,000, your neighbor will say, don't worry, I will sell for you for 1 million naira. Who will you go and meet? Right? Especially if it's the same product. You go and meet your neighbor. So those are the realities on ground. So that's why sometimes they say some consultants are selling innovation, right? When they go find what they like and settle tax man. So it's a company. This is Nigeria. What I would just say is, or what people do in practice, they just have a budget of what they will file on a monthly basis. Then annually, when they come for their routine checks and all of those things, you can settle, you can discuss whatever the difference that is that you're owing, right? And just settle them, and they give you an assessment to cover you for that period. So basically, those are the two options. Because ideally, like I said, what you are meant to pay is actually straightforward. It should be 7.5 of your turnover. But if because of your complexity of your business and all of that kind of people you deal with, you think it will spoil your business, that is the other second route that you can take. But that one, you are not at the mercy of basically the tax man. You now have to rely on your negotiation skills and your begging skills, right, to get the best deal.
Okay, but with that being said, I only have a business name and I've not opened any account with it. I'm using my personal account at this moment. So if
Also, I
if
need
I
taxes and
open
your
an
personal
account and
account.
operate on that, I have any form of offering.
Sorry?
Hello,
Hello, you said what?
this
I said
network.
by virtue
Can you
of
hear me?
using your personal account, you are not owing any taxes yet.
Yes, no, I'm not paying any tax yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
But the moment you switch, you will not have to pay. So, like you said, your turnover is huge because of the kind of business that you do, but the profit is not much. So, you can just be maybe mixing both your personal account and the business account together. Maybe for old clients, you can still give them your personal account. Therefore, new people, you use your business name account to reduce your exposure.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, the network is breaking on my end. You said?
Can you hear me now? So what I'm saying
I
is,
can hear
since
you now.
people already know that you are using your personal name, for your old customers, you can use your personal account. Then for new customers, you can then use your business account.
Okay, and the money that will go on my personal account, how about the taxes there too? Or if I pay
That's what I've been
one
saying. Now
tax,
nobody's going to ask you nobody's going to audit your personal account unless maybe the transactions are not past 25 million naira in a month. Then maybe they might. But if it's under that, nobody's really going to ask you. Nobody asks for this thing. So what you can do, whether you're a business owner, you're supposed to file your personal income tax. So that is what I would just recommend that you do. File your personal income tax, and nobody will disturb you based on money in your personal account.
that helpful. Thank you.
Is that clear? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so next person, any other person for me?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I asked the question uh, earlier today, but I need some clarification. So I'm a freelancer or an independent contractor, and I told you I was working for foreign clients, and you said I'm only like income tax, and then
Happened now. You did. I can hardly hear you. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
But it's breaking badly.
Okay. Sorry, let me use just one. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Very clear.
Yes, loud and
Okay.
clear.
Yeah, thank you. So, you said I'll be paying Pete, and then I wanted to know, like, say for
It's
instance, I
not
want
fit
to
to CIT.
well, yeah, it's Pete, yeah. Okay. So I'm actually new to the whole tax stuff. Maybe because we work for a client, we really do not pay attention to all this stuff. So that's why I really registered for the class. So you said that we're paying the personal income tax,
Yes,
if I'm correct.
yes.
So I want to be specific now. Take for instance, my business do about 15 million in profits a year.
Okay.
I know there's like a percentage of payable tax or something that
Yes.
you pay. So I want to know what it is for me, and also the workspace or my home, the rent, is it deductible from the tax?
So you can only deduct 500,000.
Okay. So if there's like a proper documentation for how I pay, I can deduct 500,000 naira from it.
Nobody will ask you for a proper documentation. They are giving you only 500,000. So what are they asking for documentation for? Let me show you the listing. I'm coming. Let me share that screen.
Okay.
So you can just do tax calculator on your Google.
Okay.
Right. If you search for it, you see this presidential fiscal policy. So that's the one you click. And it will bring you here. So if you say your taxable income is 15 million,
Okay.
obviously most of us don't have all of these pensions and the rest. So for you
Okay.
to collect 500,000 with this thing, you can put like 3 million here. That's your annual rent, right?
Okay.
Then you click calculate. So your pay then would now be 2.75 as your, that will now be your personal income tax.
Wow, this is a lot.
So look at the calculation now. So
Okay.
basically.
So I think I asked another question that, okay, how do we avoid if there are like loopholes to this thing, like legit loopholes to reducing the
The
amount?
loophole is simple. Is you tell them that all the money is going on expenses. You don't, like I said, there's no obligation to prove it. So it's
Okay.
just for you to come here and say, okay, you just be putting numbers. You will get a comfortable number that you want to work with, and that's what you go to the tax man with. So you can, for instance, if you put 10 million, you look at it, right?
Okay.
You calculate how much will you pay under 10 million. Under 10 million, you are paying 1.5. If it's still too high, you can come again and reduce it to 5 million. So once you have a comfortable number,
Okay.
let's see how much will you pay here. You pay 600,000. If you think this is comfortable enough for you, you go with this figure and you get
There's no way for them to
right.
ascertain how I really like get paid, like the numbers I actually get paid every month.
There's nothing I don't know why you are talking about it ascertain. With personal income tax, it's not like that. It's more of a negotiation than ascertaining. But there is called an assessment. So you declare an income and they assess you. Right? This is what they're assessing you on. And the reality is the tax man self knows you go pay rent. The tax man knows you get children to feed. Right? They are not giving you all of those. The way you see this thing now is designed for salary earners. And they know it. You understand? So they know all of these things. This thing is basically the salary earners that have NHF, all of these contributions that they can now deduct and as this is to reduce their tax liability. for you as a business owner, you don't have, or most of us, 90% of, or even 99% of us don't have all of these things. So they know all of these things already. Again, just go, when next year come, don't
I
stress
get the
yourself with all of
idea.
it. Just go to the tax office and declare what you're comfortable with, and they will give you assessment. I can tell you that for free, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you, answer. Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. How is it today?
Oh, fine. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So my own question is that I have two businesses that I'm running. One is dry cleaning business and the other one is interior design business. So the dry cleaning business, I'm using a business name. Then the interior design, I registered a LLC last year, August. And I opened an
Okay.
account. Yeah, I opened an account for the LLC, but I've not been using the account. So it's the business name for the interior, for the laundry, the dry cleaning business that I'm using. The business name at
You're
least
using
is
it for the interior.
you say?
You are using the laundry business name account for
For the
your
interior,
interior
yeah,
business.
for the two of them.
Okay.
And it's over 50M. And it's business name.
Oh,
The
okay.
reason I'm not
It's
using
good
the
that it's business name, meaning you are not.
okay.
Continue.
I said the reason I'm not using the corporate account is that the charges is too much. So that's why I just leave that
Oh,
account then. I focus on the business name.
oh.
So you are saying something the other time.
So for your business name, right? The only things that you are basically owing, especially since you've cost 50 million, is value added tax.
Okay.
So that is basically your only headache, right? So the same thing that I told that person, I will probably tell you. Probably for the good thing with your own is they are more lenient towards business name. So you just file something and hope that they don't come. If they come, you just negotiate. Right? But most times they really don't disturb business name like that.
Okay. But what of
Mm.
the LLC that I registered that I don't use?
You've not started business now. It's as simple as that. You don't have a bank account. So not having a bank account means you've not started business.
Okay.
Because we are they tracing it too. They're not tracing it in you now.
Okay.
They trace you with your inflow and you don't have any inflow.
Okay.
You don't have any ask. You don't have enough. So in the eyes of the law, you've not started business.
Okay.
So all the inflow you're having, right,
Yes.
is now regarded as your laundry inflow.
Yes.
You get, because that is where you're receiving the money.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's looking like I don't have plenty questions today, so we might just close 30 minutes early so that I have some things I want to jump on, right? And maybe by weekend, this maybe latest or Sunday, I might share my curriculum just in case people have contributions towards what you think I should add before I start my shoots for the course, so that we are all contributors and we ensure that whatever it is that we want to learn is inside.
Hello.
Hello, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Sorry, I called you. I spoke earlier, but the network was really bad on my end, and I don't want to go back
Okay,
to
I
the
can't even
network.
see you, sir. Who is speaking?
So I was asking, what's my option? I have a business name, like I said earlier, which I have not opened a near bank account with, but I want to do that now. I'm already running my business with my personal account. You were saying something I don't quite get you.
So if you're running your business, so what I was saying, if you're running your business with your business account, it's just like what I told the person. By the eyes of the law, you will not started business, right?
Okay.
Because business, nobody's going to trace. They don't know what your the taxman does not know does not know about your business. And it is you that will tell them about your business.
Okay.
You get, And most times, the number one document they will use on you or against you is your bank statement, and you don't have because you don't
Okay.
have a bank account yet. So, in the eyes of the law, you don't have
Now,
operational
if I
business. You just have a business, but you don't have an operational business yet. So you don't even at the way it is now. It's not like you are avoiding tax. So it's more like you've not started business.
okay. Now, if I open the account with the business name, like I
Mm.
said too, the inflow is usually high. Now, if I deduct those VATs that I should deduct, it will strain my business. I don't know how to go about it.
So again, right? Like I also been, I think I've answered this question a number of times. They don't expect so they expect to charge it to the customers, and
Okay.
quite understandably, it will make your prices expensive, right? But it is something that you owe by law. You're
Okay.
supposed to pay. So it's not a way of, okay, you know that okay, your business might not be able to afford this thing, right? And the only next way around
Okay.
it to probably continue doing business, pay something small or minimal to the government. When they come, you negotiate and you explain to them, right? That is your only next best option. Is negotiation, which is the route that you will take, right? So the liabilities will not be waived. The only person that can waive it or reduce it for you is the tax man in that instance, because that one is quite straightforward. It's not like you can claim expenses on VAT. VAT is a transactional what's it called now, tax. You're supposed to pay it on your sales, 7.5%. It's not something that you negotiate. So, but if you don't have it, like you've said, that your business cannot afford it, and it will not make sense to charge your customers. What you then do is you pay something small at the end of the month. Then, when they come at the end of the year, you can now negotiate whatever it is and also remit something to the government at all after. So
Okay.
that is how they do it in practice.
Okay. What if I like still receive some payments on my personal account to reduce the inflow?
Yes, if you can
How
do
do I?
that, it's fine. No, but they will not know. Yeah, they will not know because they are not the ones in your what's it called now, in your market now. This is what you tell them, and the good enough thing is for a business name like yours, you are not expected to present financial statements. When you present financial statements and you are claiming that you, for instance, now you are selling inventory, you are claiming at the beginning of the year you had 10, now you have 5, but you only have sales record of 3, then there will be a
Yes.
mismatch. But because you are not
Okay.
presenting all of those financial statements, right, you really don't have all of those trouble. It is what is in your bank statement that they will have to go with, if at all. And if your bank statement for the business name does not reflect 100 million, whatever, and some of them must enter your personal account, nobody's going to ask you for to be your personal account because they are trying to audit your business name, right? Nobody does that.
Okay. That aside, I want to, if I do that now, the money that will go to my personal account, won't personal income tax affect that too?
No, 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 it will not affect it. And like I've been saying, now you declare your personal income tax. It's not a function of inflow and outflow.
Okay, okay,
There
okay,
are several money that can enter your personal account now. There are several
okay,
different money that can enter your personal account. So it's not a function of inflow and outflow.
okay. Thank you very much. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm sorry, I've asked a question before, but
I can hear
I
you.
wanted to ask you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question before, but I was looking for the screenshot that I saved online, but I didn't see it. But let me just ask it anyway. Um, there's this you know, call it
Sorry, I can hear you. Hello.
I want to ask you a question. What about people that only have the LLC account? But I'm thinking of company account. You need to go buy the account. Hello?
Mm.
Hello? Can
Hello.
hello?
Hello. I can hear you.
What about, like for me, I say I only have the company account. I mean,
Your voice is very low. Or maybe what you can do is send me a DM, then I will attend to you. Because I think your network is very low. You can send me a voice note on the DM, and I will attend to you. If that's fine. If you can hear me.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, sorry, I'm here again. I was going through the last video because I just joined recently, and I heard a lot about upgrade from business name to LLC. So I just have a few questions on that upgrade. So does upgrading automatically deactivate your business name, or it remains active? And if it remains active, how long does it remain active?
Okay, so I don't know why it's called upgrade,
Okay.
really, right? I think that's a wrong nomenclature, but it's just the way people call it because they're just basically trying to. So ideally, when you're doing it, people expect that you leave the old one and start afresh, right?
Hmm.
I guess that's where the upgrade name comes from.
So
But if you
it's like
upgrade, if you do
registering a new
nothing,
name.
yeah, exactly. So the only difference is they're allowing you use the previous name with a limited in front of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically if you do that, you basically have two companies. You don't
Hmm.
have it's two companies that you have. One is a business name, one is a limited. So some people have run both of them together concurrently. I have clients that use that to basically reduce their tax liability. They will
Yeah.
only register one with the FRS. So if they are paying tax and all of that, right? So if they are not caught, then fine. Even when they are caught, they say, but I'm not using that one. This is what I'm using.
Hmm.
That kind of thing. Although by next year, because they now have data, right, you might not be able to do all of those hanky
They've
panky. But
always
before
had this
now,
data now.
no, they do not always have banks. They only have it when maybe they ask you, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the local branches don't really have it. They have to write to Abuja to get it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
now, right? But now the banks are mandated to report you basically. I don't know
Hmm.
how the reporting this thing is going to work, but the law has given them authority to get that data.
Yeah.
But before now, they really didn't have it. You have to get to Abuja, right? So if maybe they write you and you're not responding, they will now write to Abuja for investigation. Okay, look into these accounts. So Abuja will not reply them. So that's
Hmm.
how it works currently. But from next year now, they now have more authority.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you.
Hello,
Hello.
it's me again. Sorry.
You're welcome, sir.
Out of curiosity, I just want to ask, what if I remain with my personal account and didn't open any account with the business name I registered? Out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity, as long as you don't enter the threshold where you'll be flagged or anything, I don't think you have any issues, honestly, right?
I
But I
always,
will always advise you, as long as you're having all those transactions, just do your personal income tax, right? So, that's basically it. As long as you have your personal income tax, nobody's going to disturb you. And maybe if you have transactions, because you need to realistically, you need to also understand that it costs money to enforce tax. You get. So
Yes.
that's why they said, okay, they will just focus on the big people with big transactions. For the way
Okay.
Nigeria is today, if you are doing over 25 million naira, you're a big boy. You are doing something, big, and they are not. There is not very plenty people, right? So
Yeah.
they will focus their energy where they will get the best results. But just because you are not doing that does not mean you should not do something. So that's why I'm always advocating that just have that tax footprint. So
I
just
do
in
much.
case you are asked or you need it for something, it's just easy to say, oh, okay, no, I'm paying tax, so you get. So that is it. That's what I recommend.
Let's say I do up to 150 annually.
On what? Your personal
Turnover.
account.
Turnover, yes.
Nobody's going to. I don't know how to put it. Nobody's going to fault you for that now. For 50. So again, if none of the months is big enough or exceeds 25 million naira, right? The problem is if you exceed 25 million, they ask you and you now say it's business money. The next question will be, why are you using your personal account for business?
Okay, okay, okay.
That
I
is
get
that is where your exposure is. Because
I
you are not
get it.
supposed to. The law says if you are doing business, open a business name or open a limited liability.
What I will do, I think I will open a business name, then limit it with my personal, limit the inflow.
Just control it with your personal account. Some transaction you give your personal, some transaction you put your business name. If you can control that and remember, then that's fine.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. Good
Good
evening, sir.
evening.
Please, just a short one. I know I have
No
asked a
problem.
question before. I just want to be sure about something. Does buying and
That's why we're
selling,
here.
yes, does buying and selling of non-vertible goods like foodstuffs, those basic foodstuffs that are among the non-vertible, does the buying and selling also applies to that non-vertible stuff, or it must be that it must be in the production line of that non-vertible product?
No, it's the buying and selling actually. That, both production, both buying and selling. Like, the idea is they don't want those things too expensive for the consumer, the final consumer.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
So
I
if you
think that's
start
it.
ban basic food items, the final consumer, it will be too expensive for them. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Thank you very much, sir.
Mm. Okay. So please, I might have to. I don't know. You're another person, so that maybe I'll take one more question. I might have to
Yeah,
excuse myself early.
yeah, good evening,
Okay,
sir.
please go ahead.
Yeah, good
Good
evening.
evening.
Yeah, I'm just joining, so I believe I missed a couple of the class. So, but my question is I want to know for someone like me, I don't know if I've asked this question already, but someone like me that's a freelancer, right? And I earn in foreign currencies, right? Most of my client pays me in either USD or British or euros, right? How do I go about this? How do I go about structuring my freelance business in a way that I can actually minimize the amount of tax I'll be paying next year? So that is just my question, sir.
So generally, what I would generally say, you work as an individual, right? Or keep it the individual way you're already keeping it. Another way is to also open what's it called, a business name. Since we know that business name don't pay income tax, right? You put your money in business name. When you receive money via the business name, right? And since obviously it is clear that these are dollar transactions and not vertible transactions, you are covered on the vertible end. Therefore, income you cannot structure it in a way that you are paying yourself like a salary, right? And it's that salary that you are not paying yourself from the business name is not what you declare and you pay tax on that one. So you can now be carrying your day-to-day transactions, right, with the business name. If you are looking for a certain kind of structure, then I think that's the best thing you can do. Exactly.
Okay, but yeah, but the thing is, I am working for an agency, right? I don't know if it's going to be like, I
Okay.
don't know how they are going to feel about it now if I give them a business name for them to be paying me. You know that they're very
Um,
specific when it comes to the name they are paying into. That is the
so
issue.
that's why I always You said you were looking for structure now, and
Yeah.
freelancers. What I recommend is, first of all, remain your individual, right? Nobody's going to ask you to pay tax on your total salary as a freelancer. It's not realistic, right? And there's also cost coming in for all of those income that you're receiving. And the truth is, the law does not allow you to remove all of those, right? What the law says is declare your taxable income. So it's up to you to declare, right? It's not really complicated. It is you that is just thinking it's not complicated. Declare your taxable income and get taxed based on that. It's as simple as that. Once you get taxed based on that, they give you an assessment, let's say in January. Nobody's going to stop you again till next year. Is as simple as that. I promise you. Is you are just complicating the thing in your head. If, for instance, now you plan just like I did calculation for the previous person, if you plan to pay like 500,000 naira, right, in taxes, you declare somewhere around 5 million naira as your taxable income. You pay your tax. Trust me, by paying that tax, we are better than over 90 people in Nigeria already. So they have 90% or over 200 million Nigerians to pursue. You are not their headache. I can promise you that. Just as long as a taxman has access to you and they give you your personal income tax, nobody will disturb you again for another 1 year. That's basically how it works.
Okay, so this, are we going to be paying it annually or every
Yes, it's
month once?
annually.
Because I've not. So let's assume, for example, now I earn like close to 30 million a year, right? Can I declare like 5 naira or declare like 2 million
You
naira?
can even declare
Should I come back?
500,000. Nobody's coming
Yeah,
back to you. You just a fear. Nobody's coming back to you. That's how it works. Declare what you can declare. Yeah, so when it comes to personal, there's so much money, yeah, that goes into a personal income tax that is not taxable, that is not declared as taxable income. So nobody comes back to your what's it called, to your account to be asking you how much inflow. The first mistake you are making is you think they will come and be auditing your account. Nobody does that. So just declare a reasonable taxable income. That's what I would recommend. Pay your taxes and you are good to go.
all right, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I might have to call it an evening. Hello? Okay. So thank you everybody for your time and spending time with me today. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of the support. I appreciate your trusting me and my recommendations. I don't take it lightly. Thank you and God bless. See you guys on Sunday. Do have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, sir.